What's up, family? Get this video a big thumbs up if you get some value. As always, we're just here to have a conversation and kick it, just like family members kicking it at a barbecue. You feel me? So this Trump and Zelensky thing has been going crazy, man, all across the airwaves. I got heat of it, and I just figured we'll have an amazing conversation. But also, if I could extract some type of value from what I received from it, because I did watch a couple clips, but I really wanted to have a conversation with you guys about it. So with no further ado, let's dive into it.
And for the good of the world. I'm aligned with the world, and I want to get this thing over with. You see the hatred he's got for Putin. It's very tough for me to make a deal with that kind of hate. He's got tremendous hatred, and I understand that, but I can tell you the other side isn't exactly in love with, him either. So it's not a question of alignment. I'm aligned with the world. I want to get the thing set. I'm aligned with Europe. I want to see if we can get this thing done. You want me to be tough? I could be tougher than any human being you've ever seen. I'd be so tough, but you're never going to get a deal that way. So that's the way.
And I love that Trump said that. You know why, family? Because at the end of the day, to be a true leader, you cannot operate out of ignorance, but wisdom, right? And if you don't know it, then you have to receive that information, which I'm talking about information wise is wisdom, because then you'll know what action to take, right? We all know that Trump been preparing for this moment. We all know that Trump has been prepping before getting into the White House for his second term for the last 4 years while the Biden administration was in office, just being geared and ready to go. That's why they operating so effectively and so efficient, and it's beautiful. Because the simple fact is he's advocating for diplomacy, and we all know that diplomacy is basically practicing managing international relations, right? But however, and that's through negotiations. But however, in a broader sense, he's just really advocating, like he said, he's for the world peace rather than force or coercion, right? Because at the end of the day, he's saying with all of this, when it comes to diplomacy, it involves governments, diplomats, international organizations, working together to resolve conflicts, build alliances, and advance political, economic, and security interests. So Trump saying, yo, look, we better together than separate. And at the end of the day, if we separate, we just going to destroy each other within the midst of it. And I'm for the world. You know what I'm saying? I want to see us better than ever. And at the end of the day, right now, the United States is closed for shop. We're too busy focused on fixing our own home because we have basically been committing self-inflicting wounds and hurting ourselves with all these acts that took place in the Biden administration, like frivolous money and all this corruptness that's being exposed through Social Security, through the Department of Education, and you name it. So in a broader sense, diplomacy can, I know, can include formal treaties and back channel negotiations, economic agreements, and strategic discussions at preventing war and fostering cooperation and maintaining global stability. But the importance here is that we all know when it comes to war, and if you don't know, I'm here to tell you, it all comes down to the money. There has not been a war that hasn't resulted for the simple fact that the money was involved in power, right? So Trump is like, yo, I'm trying to prevent this thing. And if you don't want to get your act together, we not funding this war. I'm gonna let you know right now. And look, I'm trying to be the mediator to say, look, you may not like Putin, Zelensky, and Zelensky, Putin may be not too fond of you, but it's bigger than this. Look at our countries, man. We all should work together in regards of building each other up, not tearing each other down, because then it's not conducive for anyone. Because all countries, I believe, can trade weaknesses and strengths, right? It's just like a relationship with your girl or your man, right? Y'all kick it, and at the end of the day, he may be viable when it comes to his strengths and what you're weak in, right? So you build together, and it's better together than separate. So I love it, man. It's beautiful. Let's continue.
It goes. All right, one more question.
Hey, I want to respond to this. So look, for 4 years in the United States of America, we had a president who stood up at press conferences and talked tough about Vladimir Putin, and then Putin invaded Ukraine and destroyed a significant chunk of the country. The path to peace And the path to prosperity is maybe engaging in diplomacy. We tried the pathway of Joe Biden of thumping our chest and pretending that the President of the United States' words mattered more than the President of the United States' actions. What makes America a good country is America engaging in diplomacy. That's what President Trump is doing.
Can I ask you?
Sure.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So he occupied our parts, big parts of Ukraine, part of East and Crimea. So he occupied it on 2014. So during a lot of years, so I'm not speaking about just Biden, but those time was Obama, then President Obama, then President Trump, then President Biden, now President Trump, and God bless, now President Trump will stop him. But during 2014, nobody stopped him. He just occupied and took. He killed people. You know what the contact line?
2015.
2014.
2014 and 2015.
2014.
Yeah. So
I was,
he killed,
I was not here.
Yeah, but
That's exactly right.
Yes, but during 2014 till 2022, yeah, the situation the same. The people have been dying on the contact line. Nobody stopped him. You know that we had conversations with him, a lot of conversation, my bilateral conversation, and we signed with him, me, like a new president. In 2019, I signed with him the deal. I signed with him, Macron and Merkel, we signed ceasefire. Ceasefire. All of them told me that he will never go. We signed him with gas contract. Gas contract. Yes, but after that, he broken this ceasefire. He killed our people and he didn't exchange prisoners. We signed the exchange of prisoners, but he didn't do it. What kind of diplomacy, JD, you are speaking about? What do you mean?
I'm talking about the kind of diplomacy that's going to end the destruction of your country.
Yes, but if you
Mr. President, with respect, I think it's disrespectful for you to come into the Oval Office and try to litigate this in front of the American media.
I agree.
Right now, you guys are going around and forcing.
What of the nerve of you, Zelensky? You come over here to America asking for help. And you already know that the Biden administration has been funding this senseless war that has basically been killing bodies after bodies and basically ruining Ukrainian country and causing a disaster, because at the end of the day, Zelensky want to be so prideful to the simple fact that he doesn't really want to back down. He wants to continue to fight a war, but want the help of the American people and from America and United States of America, to be more technical. But at the end of the day, you acting like you have power, but you really don't have power, but you're only being infumed with power based back on the support of the American people and the United States of America in its entirety. The nerve of you to sit there and be like, look, we tried to come with an agreement, but at the end of the day, he has killed our people. What about you actually caring about saving your own country with all these bodies that's dropping? You're low on soldiers, Zelensky. And then you have the nerve to try to negotiate. Now, just to add a little bit of information, because I did get heat of this, that Zelensky was supposed to sign a minerals deal. But then this meeting, he never signed the minerals deal. And that was basically the return on investment that Americans were supposed to get in the United States of America for funding this war for years under the Biden administration, frivolously spending money because the war is still going on, leading to no type of result of nothing. At the end of the day, Zelensky should be focused on results, just like JD Vance and Donald Trump is for the American people in the United States of America in entirety. Instead, he wants to keep fighting this senseless war, being so prideful to the simple fact that your country is falling and Putin can take over your country at any given day within 24 hours, even less than that. But you want to kill, you still want your people dying in your country. That's operating out of ignorance and pride. And at the end of the day, this what happens when the Biden administration kept giving, this what happens when you keep giving people money and you never tell them no, because then they feel entitled to act like that's your own money. And in this case, he feels like he's entitled to the American people money, when at the end of the day, JD Vance is saying, hey, look, I tried to give you money, bro. I gave you plenty of money. Not JD Vance specifically, but I'm just putting it down from a simple perspective, right? Let me give you another example. Let's say you gave your brother some money. He like, come on, man, I need some more money. I'm trying to do this business. The business never got off the ground. The business never was successful. You fighting this war within yourself, thinking that this business is going to happen, but you're living in a fantasy, bro. So if you say, no, I'm not going to give you no more money. Oh, you going to give me, look, I tried it. I'm trying to get this business running, and I tried to make sure I get a return on investment on it. But at the end of the day, just give me some more money and that'll solve the problem. But the results show that the problem was never solved for your brother because the business is still not up and running for years. It's time to do away with it. And as a leader, you have to come to the reality of things to yield results. And that goes for the Ukraine, in this case, Zelensky, for the Ukrainians, the same way Donald Trump and JD Vance is acting on the behalf of the American people to yield results, to bring our country strong back and return our country to be stronger than ever, going in the right direction, because we have been going in the wrong direction for years, for the last 4 years under the Biden administration. Let's continue.
Conscripts to the front lines because you have manpower problems. You should be thanking the president for trying to bring an end to this conflict.
Have you ever been to Ukraine? Did you say what problems we have?
I have been to.
Count once.
I've actually watched and seen the stories, and I know what happens is you bring them on a propaganda tour, Mr. President. Do you disagree that you've had problems? Bringing people into your military? And do you think that it's respectful to come to the Oval Office of the United States of America and attack the administration that is trying to prevent the destruction of your country?
A lot of questions. Let's start from the beginning.
Sure.
First of all, during the war, everybody has problems. Even you, but you have nice ocean and don't feel now, but you will feel it in the future. God bless.
You don't know that.
God bless. God bless. You will not have a war.
Don't tell us what we're going to feel. We're trying to solve a problem. Don't tell us what we're going to feel.
I'm not telling you.
Because you're in no position to dictate that.
That's exactly what you're doing.
You're in no position to dictate what we're going to feel. We're going to feel very good.
You will feel influence.
We're going to feel very good and very strong.
You will feel influence.
You're right now not in a very good position. You've allowed yourself to be in a very bad position, and he happens to be right about it.
From the very beginning of the war.
You're not in a good position. You don't have the cards right now. With us, you start having cards. Right now, you don't. You're playing cards. You're playing cards. You're gambling with the lives of millions of people. You're gambling with World War III. You're gambling with World War III. And what you're doing is very disrespectful to the country, this country, that's back to you, far more than a lot of people said they should have.
Have you said thank you once? This entire meeting? No, in this entire meeting, have you said thank you? You went to Pennsylvania and campaigned for the opposition in October. Offer some words of appreciation for the United States of America and the president who's trying to save your country.
Please, you think that if you will speak very loudly about the war, you can...
He's not speaking loudly. He's not speaking loudly. Your country is in big trouble.
Can I answer?
Wait a minute. No, you've done a lot of talking. Your country is in big trouble.
I know.
You're not winning. You're not winning this. You have a damn good chance of coming out okay because of us.
Mr. President, we are staying in our country, staying strong from the very beginning of the war. We've been alone, and we are thankful. I said thanks
you haven't
in
been
this
alone.
cabinet.
You haven't been alone.
In this cabinet.
We gave you, through this stupid president, $350 billion. We gave you military equipment, and you men are brave, but they had to use our military. If you didn't have our military equipment, this war would have been over in 2 weeks.
In 3 days, I heard it from Putin. In 3 days, this is something
maybe
new.
Less.
In 2 weeks, of course, yes.
It's going to be a very hard thing to do business like this.
Again,
I tell you.
just say thank you.
I said a lot of times to American people.
Accept that there are disagreements, and let's go litigate those disagreements rather than trying to fight it out in the American media when you're wrong.
Yeah, because the simple fact is Zelensky don't want to hear it. He want to hear what he want to hear. But he's entitled. See, this is what happens. You create entitlement to individuals like this. The Biden administration has created entitlement for Zelensky. And this is why we shouldn't have funded the war in the first place when it comes from America's standpoint. And in this case, with his ignorance, just give us back all our money. You didn't sign a minerals deal. You didn't do anything. You just argued your point to justify You see, he's smart though, because he's not saying it out loud, but he's saying it indirectly. Look, I still want to continue to fight the war because I want to show how strong and prideful I am. I don't like that he killed my men. But at the end of the day, he's smart because it's like, look, I'm not going to say that I want to continue the war because then the cards that's being dealt as the America is giving him the ammunition to continue this war, that would definitely close up shop and there will be no more dialogue because Trump ain't having it. But this is the beautiful thing that we get to see as the American people, transparency, and we see the negotiations and the conversation in front of our faces and what it's like. For many years, this been behind the scenes, presidents smile in our face and previous presidents, many presidents tell us one thing and the result happened in a different way. But this is what Trump is advocating for and doing for the American people. Full-blown transparency, honesty, and real. Cutthroat to the point, and we see it. And at the end of the day, look, it also defeats the media from trying to transpire these crazy narratives when it comes to these liberal-minded extremists, right? Because now you can only talk about for what happened for what it is because it's factual and it's transparent than ever. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments. I think it was a beautiful. However, Zelensky needs to get his act together. And however, I think we just need to cut him off to be, in my opinion, because I don't think he's ever going to get his act together. I think we need to cut him off. But let me know down in the comments. Should we just close up shop and let Zelensky deal with his own self-inflicted wound? Because at the end of the day, all we're trying to do is create peace. But he want to gamble with World War III and the simple fact feel entitled to American taxpayer dollars and continue to get money funneled over for defense. And this hurts Americans because then on top of it, America will try to go over there and we'll have American soldiers trying to go over there to fight on the behalf of helping Ukraine because he don't even have the men, but he's operating out so much of ignorance that he don't even want to save his own country, Zelensky, and bringing us into this crap. We don't need this crap. We need to focus on our home like Trump is doing and we'll rebuild our things up from the ground up to make America greater than it ever been and continue to be great for generations to come. But let me know down in the comments what you guys think. I hope you guys got some value from this conversation. And on that note, family, love you guys. Peace.